Hi, good afternoon. It's Valerie Holdren with Soap Underground. Today I am going to bring you my version of a Ghost Swirl. It's a modified version. I think Auntie Clara is the one who originally designed this. But I'm doing a version by Cathy at Soapmaking Essentials. Hers is a little different in that she doesn't make two different lye solutions, which is perfect for me because math is not my strong suit, and breaking things down, fractions, that kind of thing. Algebra, math is terrifying to me. So when I watched her video, I was like, ooh, I can do this. So that's what I'm going to be attempting to do today. It's the first time I've ever tried it. I just have been researching it, and someone posted on one of the groups yesterday, and it was so beautiful, and I thought I really want to try something like that. So I was thrilled when I found Cathy's version. And again, I don't know her last name, but it's Cathy at Soapmaking Essentials. The recipe that I formulated this morning is coconut oil free. I've been wanting to do one of those. But it does contain palm and palm kernel oils. So if you're opposed to those, you may not want to watch any further. That's entirely your preference. I don't use palm oil a lot, but I do use it in a little bit of it I use in moderation. So that's what this recipe is going to be today. It's 10% almond oil, 10% castor oil, 10% cocoa butter, 10% mango butter, 20% olive oil, 15% palm kernel oil, and 25% palm oil. It gave me really nice numbers. The hardness number is a 39. The cleansing is a 10. Conditioning is a 59. Bubbly is a 19. And I'm adding 2 tablespoons of honey into my soft oils here, and that will help boost the lather as well. And my creamy number was a 68. My iodine number was a 60, and my INS is a 141. I'm super fatting at 5% up front, and I'm adding 1%, 2% more after, not after the cook, because this isn't hot process. But I'm going to also add in 2% more of jojoba, which is one of my favorites. Okay, because I'm not sure that my terminology is going to be right, just bear with me. I'm doing the heat transfer method, which is a little bit making me a little nervous because I did my water to lye ratio, water as percent of the oil weight, was 30%. So, excuse me, this happens all the time. I apologize for that. Between being self-employed and a daughter who is rehabbing from an automobile accident and many doctor's appointments, this phone, I get quite a few interruptions. But anyway, once I get this all melted down, I'm going and incorporated the soft oils in with the melted hard oils. I'm going to split the batter into 2 equal parts into these cups. And to make the increase in water for the color variation that's supposed to happen to 1 container only of the batter, I'm going to add 1.5 ounces of heavy cream. And hopefully that will give the extra water amount to make the color different to the one with no milk in it. That's the way I think this is supposed to work. So we're going to find out, and I'm not afraid to fail in front of you. So if I don't get what I want, then you've seen it with me. In my hard oils, I have my kale and clay and colloidal oatmeal, my sodium lactate, and my honey. And I'm going to stick blend that real good before I blend it in, because I just want to bring this to emulsion. I don't want to, because of the water discount, I don't want to over stick blend. So in my last solution, I have just a little bit of sugar and some mulberry silk, and I'm not going to be adding any color or any fragrance, which no fragrance for me is a rarity, but I just wanted to try a plain soap, and I love the smell of raw soap. I just don't do it very often because I don't have much request for it, but I am going to do that today. So going to go ahead and mix up my lye with my in the water and the mulberry silk, and hopefully I didn't discount it enough that it's not going to mix very well. Again, I apologize for that interruption. When you're self-employed, sometimes it just doesn't pay to do anything outside of what you're supposed to do, work-wise. Soap making is not a priority to some people as it is to me. Okay, I'm getting ready to mix my lye, and this is 4.8 ounces of lye, and it's 9 ounces of water. And I do have on my safety gear, my gloves, my long sleeves, and my glasses. I'm going to give this a good mix and just let it dissolve well enough, and hopefully it's going to stay warm enough to melt down my hard oils, which I chopped up as fine as I could get them, and my cocoa butter is in wafers. So hopefully it won't be a problem. And I'm not going to wait for this to get clear. All I'm doing is making sure that it is, all of the lye is dissolved, and it is. There's nothing, floating, nothing rubbing on the bottom. So there's a little bit of mulberry silk floating around, but it will blend in nicely with the stick blender. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it in. I'm kind of excited. I get a little nervous when I try something new, but I also get excited. And then just stir around. Palm oil is pretty soft anyway, even though it's considered a hard oil. I was trying to think if there was anything else I could tell you about this. I'm hoping that the cocoa butter is going to, the scent of that is going to, come through really nicely, since I'm not scenting it with any essential oil or fragrance oil. And I have preheated my oven to 170 and put my mold in, and then I've got it cut off, but the mold is still in there, so that when I put my soap in, that's going to kind of jump start the gel process. Then I'm going to cover it and insulate it for, 30 minutes to an hour. And then I'll unwrap it, but I will still keep it covered and check on it, you know, every so often to make sure that it's not getting too hot. And if all of this doesn't, you know, get melted down right away, I'm sure it's small enough that I can stick blend it out. I just don't want to over use my stick blender. I've been having problems with my favorite one, so I had to order another one, and I sure don't want to blow another one out. Let that sit for a minute while I get my stick blender ready. And I'm going to go ahead and stick blend my liquid oils with my kale and clay and so forth in it, so that I don't have to stick blend too much while I mix everything together. I love doing the heat transfer method. I usually do hot process all the time, but I just got in this notion that I wanted to do something different, so I started making some cold process and using the heat transfer. Okay, I'm getting ready to combine my soft oils with my honey and my kale and clay. You can't see because of that stick blender, I'm sorry. My sodium lactate, all of that goodness in there. As I said, I'm just gonna bring it to a light, very light trace. All of this hard oils they're completely dissolved now. Okay, and I'm going to add in my 2% extra of super fat, which is my jojoba oil. Stop right there. And pour off equal amounts. Into these cups. Oh, just for curiosity, I want to see the temperature of my oils, and it's getting thick, so I better move along. 103. Some people put it on the scale and get an exact measurement. I'm not that. I probably should be, but I'm not. I'm also quite messy, as you can see. Cold process, I find, is messier. Okay, now to this one, I'm going to go ahead and add my heavy cream. Which hopefully is going to give me my color difference. Just going to give it a good stir before I stick blend it because it's getting thick on me. Okay, I'm going to grab my mold and be right back. I can go ahead and stick blend this just a little bit more. Okay. Mold is nice and warm. Now I'm going to try to do a little drop swirl. May even run a stick blender through it. I mean a stick blender, a hanger through it, but I can see the color difference. Pretty cool. But it is thick. Ooh-wee. And I'm sure you experienced soapers are thinking, wow, that lady's pretty clumsy. Okay, what do I want to do? I'm going to go ahead and do a hanger. I'm going to go down and over. And just some little loop-de-loos. And I can see the difference. I don't know if you can, but I can. And then I want to use this and do a little bit of something on the top. It smells really nice to not have any fragrance in it. I love the smell. And I think I'm just going to scrape this out. Then I'm going to do a little swirl or something on the top. Just give it a little something. was a little worried, but I think it went okay. Of course, I haven't, I've got to mold it and everything. I mean, gel it. That'll be a test. I just love a really pretty soft swirl on top. That's the one thing that I love about cold process as opposed to hot process. I've gotten better at my tops, but I love that you have time to, well, oftentimes, you have time to play with the top with cold process. If you don't like something, you can kind of erase it and go back. So, okay. I think I'm going to leave it at that. And then I will bring you back later this evening, I hope. I hope it will be ready. And we'll see what we get. Thanks for watching. Hey, welcome back. I was forgot to say one thing. I was cleaning up, and it occurred to me that I had talked to you, mentioned at the beginning, about safety, you know, your goggles, your gloves, your long sleeves. But I forgot, as a hot processor, I am so used to just, you know, taking my dishes after I'm done and putting them in the sink and, you know, fooling with them, handling them with no gloves on. And I just about did it with this. And I said, you know, for experienced soapers, I don't need to mention this. But for new soapers, wear your gloves when you're cleaning up when you do cold process, because the lye is still active. It's still caustic, and you will get burns. So I just thought that was worth, you know, coming back on and mentioning. So anyway, that's just my little tip for the day. Thanks. Hey, good evening. It's Valerie Holdren, and it's been about 7 hours, I guess, since I molded the soap, and I kept checking it, and it just popped right out of the mold. So I'm gonna cut this and see if we have a Ghost Swirl, even if it's a modified version. I think we do, but gonna find out. Go ahead and cut the end off. Still a little soft. And I think we do. It's a little one, but it's there. It's more of yellowy color, not white. I don't know if that'll change. It's to be a little bit thicker. It's pretty though. My lighting's not real good down here. The one thing I forgot to do is to spray the top with alcohol to prevent ash, and I'm already seeing some of that. I like that design. Really pretty. This isn't white on white though. This is more cream on cream. plain soap. Be interesting to see if the color's different in the morning. Well, might not be exactly what I was looking for, but the concept worked. The girl that I followed her design, she used white mica, and I didn't. I didn't use anything on it, in it. I just went with the natural colors. So that's probably why hers is more noticeable. But I can definitely see the swirl that I did, and you can see the gel. No scent, no color, all natural. Well, I'm pretty pleased. All in all, I am pleased. So, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. The holidays are gonna be rough for my family. We've already been through Halloween, and Gracie loved Halloween. It's never been one of my favorites, but that was hard enough. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I am thankful for what I have still here with me. I'm thankful for the 6 short years that I had with her. And I wish you and yours a happy Thanksgiving.